everyone. Today I'm going to talk about Sense8, maybe one of the best shows ever. You haven't watched it? Watch it. Watch it already. What are you waiting for? So, the Sense8 are 8 people. They could be from all over the world. It doesn't matter where they are from. They have a connection. They can share mentally and physically. They can share memories. They can share knowledge. They can share experiences and feelings. They have an extremely good connection. They're like a supercomputer. They share a collective brain, let's say. They're like 8 people, but in one. Like 8 in one people. 8 people in one person. Something like that. It's difficult to explain sometimes, but let's say, imagine if you were 8 different people and you had the ability to unite all your knowledge, all your experiences, all your abilities in one person. You can imagine how much advanced, how better you would be, right? And how your perception of things would change. A cluster is born by another female Sense8 from another cluster. This is what we know so far. We don't know a lot of things. We do know that Angelica, another person from another cluster, gave birth to the current cluster that we see in the show. The cluster is born by a female Sense8 from another cluster. Sense8 from other clusters can visit other Sense8s wherever they are in the world mentally, if they have had direct eye contact. So if you see another Sense8, you can always visit them whenever you desire. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing, because if you need, for example, some information, some help, you can always visit this person from another cluster and you can get help. But what if you're a jerk? What if you're a bad person, like Whispers? What does Whisper do? He sees into other people in their eyes and he tries to manipulate them. He tries to use them as puppets. And we still don't know a lot of things about Whispers. We do know he's a jerk. But so far we have learned that he tries to use other Sense8. He actually lobotomizes them, so they don't really, they're like vegetables, they're like in a coma. And that gives him the ability to enter their brain, enter their body, and use it as a puppet. He can do whatever he desires without a problem. So, let's start with our cluster. First we have Nomi from San Francisco. Nomi is a hacktivist. She used to hack government agencies. So Nomi was born as Michael, but now she identifies herself as Nomi. She lives with her girlfriend in San Francisco, as I've already said. She's scary good with computers. She can hack anything, looking for information, looking for the truth. She can fight crime. And she's the one who said, I'm not only a me, I'm also a we. And I think this is very important because most of the people, most of us think as ourselves are like we're the center of the world, like we're the center of the universe. But she says, I'm not only me, I'm also we. I mean, I shouldn't only look about how to make myself comfortable, I should also be looking myself as a part of a whole. And this is why many people are assholes nowadays, because we only care about ourselves and we don't see ourselves as part of a whole, and that's why the world goes to hell. So let's move on to Lito from Mexico City. Lito is an actor in super cheesy telenovelas and also bad movies. You know, he's the macho type. He's the type every guy wants to be. Every guy hates and loves at the same time, and every woman wants to sleep with. He always plays the hero in his movies. He's the macho type, as I've already said. He's like John Rambo or something. But as he admits himself, in real life, he's actually a coward. He sometimes says that his life is a lie, it's fake. Why? Because he's actually gay and he lives with his boyfriend, but he doesn't want to admit it. He doesn't want to come out because he's afraid he will lose everything he has fought all his life. He will lose his career, and his career is very, very important to him. I mean, he has worked a lot, and he wants to preserve his career. I mean, everybody can understand that, right? If he admits he's gay, No one wants to hire an actor that he's openly gay to play a macho guy, to play a guy who shoots one bullet and kills 5 people at the same time, right? Every person brings something to the cluster, and I think Lito brings a more elegant way to lie. He can lie to your face and not even blink. Why? Because he's an actor, right? So let's move on to Will from Chicago. Will is a cop. I think he has a very high perception of justice. He's a really nice guy, pacific and fair, and above all, he wants to help people. I think this is why he became a cop, to help people. His desire to help started from a very young age when a weird incident with a girl occurred, making him the man he is today. This girl, who was found lobotomized and dead, is also believed to have been a sensei. Let's move on to Riley from London. Riley is actually from Iceland, but she lives in London, and she's a DJ. She's a darn good DJ. For me, Riley is a person of compassion, and probably the next mother of the next cluster. I don't know why, but I really think she will be the next mother of the next cluster to come. She's a person who is not afraid to be alone. She actually needs to be alone. She likes to be alone. She likes to escape the world through her music. She likes to listen to music all the time, even when she's in the presence of other people. She likes to close herself in music, like to escape the world. And in order to do that, she actually uses substances too, illegal substances. You can see she has experienced a lot of pain through her eyes. I mean, her smile is always kind. She has a kind heart. But if you look into her eyes, you can see that she has had a bad experience in the past, something really scarring that's always there, and she hasn't been able to overcome yet. That's why she has to escape the world until this day. In a few words, you can say she's a person who has suffered a lot, and she still has a problem coping. Let's move on to Wolfgang from Berlin. I mean, Wolfgang, sure. Wolfgang lives in Germany. He's a tough guy who had a really hard childhood. He was unfortunate enough to grow up in a really messed up family with a super jerk of a father who was abusing him. He steals stuff to survive. He steals diamonds to survive. He's a thief. But if you really observe Wolfgang, you will see he's a really nice guy deep down. He's a gentle soul. He's looking for something. He's looking for something more than money, for something more than beauty. I mean, he's quite a handsome guy. He has had many women, many beautiful women, but he doesn't feel fulfilled. He needs something more than just a beautiful girl, let's say, a beautiful woman. I would say he's looking for another gentle soul like himself, a person with which he can open up his soul, a person who he can feel secure with. What he brings to the cluster is bravery. Let's move on to Cassius from Nairobi. Cassius is a van driver from Nairobi. He's obsessed with Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's extremely positive. He's a positive person. He's positive. He's very positive. Sometimes he's way too positive for my taste, but I mean, people are like this. What can you do? He always sees the bright side of things, the bright side of life. I mean, for me, he seems like there's no problem he cannot overcome, which is actually a good thing at times. I would say he still believes in people. He still believes that there is good in people, and he loves his mother very much. I mean, everything he does everything he does in his life, his work, his struggles is about his mother. His mother is sick, and he's trying to ease her pain. He's trying to make her feel better, because that's what she did for him, and he wants to repay his love. What he brings to the cluster is positive attitude, and also the ability to appreciate what we have and what we take for granted. Kala from Mumbai. Kala is one of my favorite characters. She's very traditional. She is very religious. She's very, very beautiful, and she's also a chemist. She's timid and loyal. She has a high sense of duty. She was brought up with much love in a very affectionate family, in a very nice family. I mean, she knows her parents love her, and she wants to also repay that love to them, even if that means giving up her happiness in order to satisfy her parents. What she brings to the cluster is peace. as she is a very pacific person, a person who doesn't like violence. Let's move on to Sun from Seoul. Sun is a successful, beautiful, and elegant Korean woman. At a first glance, she may seem a very peaceful, tranquil, very calm person, but underneath she's like a volcano. She's maybe the strongest of all 8 sensates. She's like a master of martial arts, which is it's amazing. She can kick anybody's ass, but that doesn't mean she's not sensitive. Actually, I think that the way she blows off some steam when fighting, when using martial arts, is because she feels like vulnerable and stuff. So she tries to put out a tough profile to actually protect herself. So let me tell you why I love this show, and let me tell you why you will love this show. First of all, the photography. Every scene is unique and very colorful. Every place has its own color. My favorite colors are those of India, and especially the costumes. I would seriously say that every shot is a painting. Every shot is like a piece of art. Even if you didn't have the dialogues, the interesting dialogues, and you had the video on mute, you would get this color-filled, orgasmic sensation. Because, as I said before, every scene is like a painting. Let's move on to another thing I think makes this show great. The soundtrack. I mean, the Wachowskis have used music to express meanings and feelings in the film, in the series. Music, in a way, is another way of action in the scenes, and makes the whole series complete, the whole package. I mean, it has the whole package. Let's move on to the script itself. It's very unique, and even though the series itself is more sci-fi like, you have a sense of reality. Why? Because the themes are actually taken from everyday life that every one of us faces. There are problems that every person faces in the world, which makes it very realistic and relatable. The variety. Another thing I find very interesting is the variety of people, places, cultures, points of views, expressions, perceptions, but deep down, no matter how different everybody is, we all have the same needs. We all have the same desires, and we all have to fight for what we want, for what we believe. Another thing that I really love about this series is what I call the writer's curse. What do I call the writer's curse? For me, I have written some books and I have this curse. What is this curse? I like to think over and over what is going to happen, why did this happen, why did that happen, did this happen because they want to make us think about something else or something, I don't know. But I like to think what is going to happen and why things happen, and that really ruins it for me. That spoils all the fun, because in most of the movies and series, when I'm 5 minutes into the show or in the movie, I already know why it's going to happen. I already know how it's going to end. That really ruins the movie, ruins everything. But with Sense8, that doesn't happen. And this is why this is one of my best series ever. Because every episode is like a mystery. I never know what is going to happen next. So here you have it. Go to Netflix, watch the series, make yourself a little bit smarter. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, guys. See ya.